Hello guys, welcome back to LR Anime. Guys, please like the video and subscribe to my channel. Today is explanation of Renegade Immortal Part 305 based on novel. So let's start. The moment the three people arrived in the seven-colored realm, the seven-colored fog around Master Ashen Pine slowly closed in until it was completely wrapped around his origin soul. Strands of white lightning came from the statue and entered the seven-colored fog to fuse with his origin soul. Master Ashen Pine's body unexpectedly began to recondense until it was corporeal. His body gave off more flashes of lightning and a faint lightning mark appeared between his eyebrows. He suddenly opened his eyes and revealed a gloomy glaze. He forced this old man to do this. If I don't get revenge, I'm not human. He leaped forward and turned into a bolt of lightning as he charged ahead. He pierced through the fog and flew toward the mountains. That cultivator named Lou was hurt by my seven-colored nail, so even if he didn't die, he is dying. I just don't know where he is hiding. However, it doesn't matter. If I want to know, I can easily find out. Master Ashen Pine sneered and his right hand reached at the void. The crack to his storage space opened and a bead flew out. Summon, defying one. Master Ashen Pine bit the tip of his tongue and spat out blood onto the bead. The bead began to absorb seven-colored light and then collapsed. At the moment it collapsed, a powerful aura appeared and a blurry shadow appeared in the world. It was impossible to see what the appearance of this person was, but his eyes were clear, as if he could see through the heavens. Nothing could escape his eyes, and if he looked at you, you would feel naked, as if all your secrets had been exposed. Master Ashen Pine asked the blurry figure, "Where is he?" The blurry figure closed his eyes, and after a long time, he opened his eyes and looked at Master Ashen Pine. Master Ashen Pine trembled and several images appeared in his head. After he saw those images, he frowned. Sima Mo's cave. He was able to break the cave's restriction while seriously injured. There was a flash of coldness in Master Ashen Pine's eyes and he charged ahead. In the valley Sima Mo's cave was in, Wang Lin didn't put all his energy into alchemy. He also cleared up the first cave. After laying down large number of restrictions and expanding the cave, he released the mosquito beast. The Mosquito King was even more ferocious. After flying out, its cold eyes looked at Wang Lin with determination. Its mind was linked with Wang Lin's, so it already knew Wang Lin's plan. It let out a soft hiss. After silently pondering for a moment, Wang Lin waved his right hand and the Mosquito King was pulled into the restriction in the cave. With enough origin crystals, it will be fine. Wang Lin took out large amount of beast souls he had gathered and also took out the mutated beast soul he had created in the cave in the origin sect. Then he put in tens of thousands of origin crystal and sealed it shut. I'll use the 5 poison sects method to refine mutated beast souls to forcibly raise the mosquito beast strength so it can transform into a stronger Mosquito King. Only then can it control the large amount of mosquito beasts in the wind celestial realm. Wang Lin's divine sense spread out into the cave. He clearly saw the purple mosquito beast rush aggressively toward each beast soul. It fought and devoured them. At the same time, the origin crystals turned into dense origin energy through the restriction and entered the mosquito beast's body. After leaving a strand of divine sense in the cave to keep an eye on it, Wang Lin pondered for a bit and then went to the pill furnace. Wang Lin sat down beside the pill furnace. He constantly manipulated the fire and refined the pill. Time slowly passed, and in the blink of an eye, 2 days went by. The fire gradually disappeared and the fragrance of the pill filled the room. Wang Lin's expression was calm as his right hand reached out. The lid of the pill furnace flew off and a large amount of fog rushed out. The fog gradually disappeared and a pool of golden liquid floated in the air. Under Wang Lin's control, the liquid flew toward him and was stored in 3 small bottles. Taking a deep breath, Wang Lin looked at the black light restriction around the valley and picked up a small bottle before taking a small sip of the liquid. The moment the liquid entered his body, it immediately turned into a cool feeling that spread through his body. He could vaguely feel the roar of a beast echo. Wang Lin closed his eyes and began to slowly comprehend the beast's comprehension of the heavens. Under this strange state, Wang Lin forgot time as his mind was lost in comprehending the heavens. It was as if he had turned into a fierce beast and experienced all the life and death struggles to survive. While he pursued Tao, he confirmed his own true and false domain as he experienced the beast's comprehension. Wang Lin was like a passerby as he constantly organized the various comprehensions. Wang Lin's surroundings seemed to become distorted and then changed. This change became even more rapid until his surroundings became unreal. After a long time, Wang Lin's right hand reached out and picked up the small bottle to take another sip. He continued to be immersed in Tao seeking and enlightenment. More and more Tao intent appeared around him. If he wanted, he could casually pick one of the fierce beast's comprehensions and use it to improve his cultivation. However, the consequences of this was that his Tao heart would be confused. After all, this was borrowing someone else's Tao and not your own comprehension. Wang Lin didn't want this kind of cultivation. What he wanted was to continue to confirm his own true and false domain while living the beast's life, to comprehend the heavens through true and false. What he took was the sliver of thought going through the beast's mind while it comprehended the heavens. That was the essence of the fierce beast soul. This thought was vague, but a fierce beast needed this in order to help them break through and eventually reach human form. Time passed. Wang Lin had consumed the entire first bottle and continued to comprehend. The distortion around his body spread until it covered the entire valley. If anyone came at this moment, their Tao heart would become chaotic. There were too many Tao intents that Wang Lin had sorted out and given up. If there is no false, there is no truth. If there was no truth, where would false come from? True and false, there is no real need to completely differentiate them. Wang Lin picked up the second bottle and took a big gulp. His eyes were filled with enlightenment before he closed them and continued to confirm his own Tao. As the endless Tao intents were sorted out, they gradually spread out of the valley. This caused the entire valley to become distorted. This was something that couldn't be seen by the naked eye, but any cultivator above the soul formation stage could feel the Tao intents here. Every single one of them was formed by the law of the heavens. If you looked at it, it looked real, but you would find that it was false. It would become very difficult to distinguish, and once you fell into it, it would be very difficult to escape from this abyss. More and more chaotic Tao intents spread out and covered everything within a 10,000 feet area. This caused even the sky to become distorted. Wang Lin had already consumed the third bottle inside the valley. He had forgotten everything as he continued to search for his Tao in this endless world. In an instant, a vague voice appeared in his mind. This voice seemed to be muttering and gradually became clearer. Enlightened, prisoner of the Tao of heaven. All sentient beings must endure immeasurable calamities. It only takes a thought to leave the deep prison. All life must walk forever forward and solve the modern age. Escape the will of heaven and obtain the path to life. Seal the will of the heavens. Engrave the dark days. Await the path of cultivation. No life knows the true Tao. The bitter abyss forever distorts the true Tao. This sentence continued to echo in his mind. Gradually, even more Tao intents spread out until they covered 100,000 feet, 1 million feet. Eventually, they covered a small portion of the seven-colored realm. Master Ashen Pine was 10,000 feet outside of Sima Mo's cave, and his face was extremely pale as he stared ahead, but he remained motionless. He had come here 2 days ago, but before he could move forward, he immediately felt the chaotic and endless Tao intents here. These Tao intents were like a giant vortex that could absorb all domains. Then, through a special method, they would bring them into Wang Lin's confirmation. The true and false domain was the second evolution of his Tao. What he seeked had already suppressed those at his cultivation level and even those above his cultivation level. Master Ashen Pine's face was pale as he sat on the ground and made his mind stable. He constantly resisted the chaotic Tao intents and the suction from the invisible vortex. He didn't notice the bald lost ones slowly walking over. They moved at a casual pace, but every step was like spatial bending. Soon, they arrived, but they didn't move forward. They stood there as if they were seeking Tao. Even farther away, the enlightened ones that only floated in the fog all came out of the fog and flew toward the valley Wang Lin was in. Their muttering slowly came as well. Everything happened with the valley Wang Lin was in as the center. A Tao refinement that stirred up the entire seven-colored realm slowly occurred. As the chaotic Tao intents given up by Wang Lin increased in number, the entire seven-colored realm seemed to become twisted. The lost ones seeked Tao and their eyes became even more confused. They stared ahead and countless invisible Tao intents were absorbed by them. The enlightened ones arrived and floated in the air. The murmur that had lasted for countless years stopped. They all looked at the valley and closed their eyes. It was as if they were comprehending Wang Lin's Tao. Even those rank 12 fog beasts all turned into different fierce beasts and didn't let out any roars. They flew across the sky and surrounded the valley. They floated in the air like the enlightened ones and comprehended Wang Lin's Tao. Tao. What is Tao? Wang Lin's life and death cycle, karma cycle, and true and false were all Taos he had comprehended himself or were changes in his way of thinking. From a little, unknown cultivator until now, where he could stand among the strong. All of these changes were the growth Wang Lin had experienced in his life. From the life and death reincarnation cycle, he saw through life and death. This allowed him to struggle through his crisis and find life in death. This ultimately allowed his defying will to appear in his heart and he dared to become a heaven-defying cultivator. Splitting the stars, slicing the moon, and looking down upon the heavens was the path of a heaven-defying cultivator. He had seen through life and death, so there was nothing to fear. These were all the thoughts that the life and death domain had brought Wang Lin. He had become strong because he had the intent. However, the heavens were ruthless and would force all life to obey it. It was also due to the intent of all life that countless Taos were formed for everyone to comprehend. This was the gift the heavens had given to all living beings, to give them meaning to cultivate. This was following the heavens and cultivating a smooth path. Wang Lin wouldn't enter this path. After life and death was karma. After Wang Lin's domain went through a metamorphosis, he was like a head scholar among mortals. He no longer cared about life and death, but pursued the true meaning of the world. Karma was like this. He saw through karmic cause and caught glimpse of karmic effect. Everything in this world had its own karma. After completing his pursuit of karma, Wang Lin's life entered a peak. As his mind evolved, his Tao heart was confirmed even more. As he went through cycles of karma, his Tao heart became even more deeply rooted. The world became different in his eyes. These heavens are not my heavens. In other people's eyes, the heavens and earth were boundless, and they didn't know where it ended. They searched the heavens and earth blindly. In Wang Lin's eyes, the boundary of the heavens and earth was no longer important. The heavens were karmic cause and earth was karmic effect. The world was a cycle of karma. He wanted to walk out of this karmic furnace. He wanted to know what was outside of this world. After reaching this step, Wang Lin had reached the limit of his domain. He was also in the circle he had drawn around Li Qianmai and Lu Yunzong. However, Qing Lin's appearance and possessing the heaven-defying bead allowed Wang Lin's karma domain to go through another metamorphosis after reaching completion. His domain evolved and he began to explore the origins of true and false. The true and false domain was a deep comprehension, and ordinary people simply weren't qualified to grasp it. This was already at the boundary of the heavenly Tao, just one step away from reaching the core. Over the countless years, it wasn't that there were no cultivators that had reached this step, it's just that there were simply too few. Domain determines one's cultivation level, and the depth of the domain brings drastic differences to one's power. What Wang Lin was seeking was the Grand Tao. Although it seemed the same as everyone else, due to his understanding of Tao, the path he saw had far surpassed the goals of others. The liquid formed by the 3 rank 11 pills was consumed by Wang Lin. His comprehension didn't end and kept going. His storage space opened before him and bottles of pills flew out. There were rank 8, 9, and 10 pills inside. He had forgotten about time. While he gained enlightenment, he picked up the pills one by one. He didn't devour them, they all collapsed when they got close to his mouth. The countless Tao intents from the beast souls merged with the vortex and were being confirmed by Wang Lin. More and more chaotic Tao intents appeared and began to spread once more. The lost ones outside the valley gradually gained a hint of clarity in their confused eyes. The enlightened ones' ethereal bodies began to turn corporeal. Those rank 12 fierce beasts no longer gave off fierce auras while seeking Tao. Master Ashen Pine struggled to protect his mind. It was as if he could be overrun by this chaotic Tao intent at any moment. Even more Tao intent appeared outside the valley. The entire seven-colored realm seemed to be filled with the Tao intents Wang Lin had abandoned and became twisted. It was as if the countless Tao intents were colliding. As it spread, even the depths of the seven-colored realm became like this. As Wang Lin continued to become enlightened, his mind gradually flew out of his body. He saw the valley, he saw himself sitting in the valley, he saw the pills floating before him collapsing one by one. His mind slowly spread out with the valley as the center. When his mind swept past the enlightened ones, their bodies all trembled. The lost ones and the fierce beasts were like this as well. As for Master Ashen Pine, his Tao heart suddenly collapsed and his eyes became filled with confusion. None of this caught Wang Lin's interest at all. His mind continued to spread out, and he saw a burly man sitting in a cave in a mountain in the outer region. The burly man's eyes revealed panic as he stared ahead. He opened his mouth but was unable to utter a word. Even after Wang Lin's mind left, the burly man still hadn't recovered from the shock. Wang Lin's mind circled around the entire outer region and passed through all the caves before heading to the wall-like mountain range. However, along the way, he saw the restriction where the life and death restriction had fused with the annihilation restriction. He saw the pale-faced old woman in green sitting there, cultivating with her eyes closed. Her Tao heart was a mess and unexpectedly showed signs of splitting. Her appearance rapidly changed. Sometimes she was old, sometimes she was ancient, and sometimes she was middle-aged. The old woman didn't cause Wang Lin to stop. He continued into the mountain covered in fog. The fog wasn't able to stop him at all, and inside he saw two mountains surrounded in restrictions. The time restriction also wasn't able to stop Wang Lin's mind. On the first mountain, there was nothing but a stone tablet. There was nothing on the stone tablet, but it gave off an ancient aura. However, in Wang Lin's eyes, the ancient aura gradually disappeared. The entire stone tablet was like a treasure. As Wang Lin's mind spread out, he went to the second mountain protected by the time restriction. There he saw a towering statue and a giant, stone gate halfway up the mountain. There was a lightning mark on the gate. His mind went through the stone gate and he saw orbs of seven-colored light. There were beast souls sealed within from rank 7 to rank 13. Inside this cave, he saw a young girl that looked similar to the old woman. Her face was ashen and she looked dead, but her body was trembling. Wang Lin also saw that there was a hidden space at the peak, and inside he saw the tablet again. He also saw the skeleton that was pinned against the tablet with two seven-colored nails. At this moment, his mind was attracted by the skeleton and landed on the countless words carved on the skeleton. It was as if thunder had exploded in Wang Lin's mind. His originally calm mind suddenly became disturbed and a drastic change occurred. His mind gathered on the skeleton and the text was engraved in his heart. Their words were exactly the same words that echoed in his mind. Await the path of cultivation. Wang Lin's mind fluctuated for an unknown amount of time and then left this place confused. He went deeper into this fog-covered land and for the first time entered the depths of the seven-colored realm. There was also fog there, but it was even more dense. However, this still couldn't stop Wang Lin's mind. He saw three youths wearing strange clothes. The youth with the crescent moon mark, he had seen this person before. The youth with the lightning mark softly said, "This place is very mysterious. What makes it even more strange is that I can feel the aura of my Flash Thunder Clan's ancestor." The youth with the flame mark between his eyebrows behind him rubbed his temples. He had a gloomy expression as he softly said, "It is indeed very strange. After entering here, I can feel something calling me in my heart. Also, I feel like my ancestral mark is going to leave my body." The last youth with the crescent moon mark was cautiously looking around and his eyes lit up. Just as he was about to speed up, his expression changed greatly. Wang Lin's mind swept by the three youths. At this moment, it was as if a bolt of lightning had struck the youth with the lightning mark between his eyebrows. The lightning mark began to flash violently. The youth with the crescent moon mark also trembled as if he had thought of something, but he wasn't sure. His face was pale and a huge wave was set off in his heart. The most shocked was the youth with the flame mark. The moment Wang Lin's mind swept by, he felt like he had lost all the strength in his body. An unspeakable fear washed over his body, and the flame mark began to burn as if it wanted to burn his body into ashes. It was fortunate that this feeling only lasted for a moment. When Wang Lin's mind passed, the pain disappeared. After a long time, the three looked at each other and saw the shock in each other's eyes. What a powerful mind! The youth with the lightning mark gasped. It must be an ancestor from my Fire Sparrow clan. That mind just now contained was certainly one of my clan's ancestors, or else my mark wouldn't have reacted like this. The youth with the flame mark was pale, but his eyes were filled with greed. Only the last person, the youth with the crescent moon mark, remained silent. He pondered. There was fear hidden in his eyes. The moment Wang Lin's mind passed by, he recalled that nightmarish scene he refused to remember. Could it be him? Not possible. How could he appear here? The youth's body trembled. The youth with the flame mark licked his lips and slowly said, "Although this person's mind is strong, if the three of us open the seal, we still stand a chance. I hope the two of you will help me." Wang Lin's mind moved past the three youths and went into the distance. Soon, he saw a mountain peak. This towering mountain had no restrictions around it, and even the fog stayed away, as if it were afraid to get close. Wang Lin's mind arrived, but when he was about to enter, an extremely powerful divine sense rushed out. This divine sense collided with Wang Lin's mind. A silent roar echoed in Wang Lin's mind. His originally confused thoughts instantly became sober. It has been a long time since I've seen such pure domain. A gloomy divine sense message came from the mountain, and at this moment, an even more powerful divine sense swept toward Wang Lin. At this moment, the world changed colors and even the seven-colored light retreated. The divine sense turned into a hand and mercilessly tried to grab Wang Lin's mind. However, the moment it reached over, Wang Lin's mind quickly withdrew. The surroundings became unreal, as if the entire world was becoming blurry. A surprised sound came from the void, and at the same time, a white-haired old man walked out from the peak. He looked at the void and rushed forward. He then raised his right hand and slammed forward. There was thunderous echo and Wang Lin's mind trembled. All the illusions collapsed and dissipated completely. "You dare to use mere illusions before his old man? Since you brought this gift to my door, stay. This pure domain is 100 times stronger than the enlightened ones." As the old man spoke, he got even closer. His right hand seemed to be able to cover the sky and reach at Wang Lin. His palm seemed to contain a powerful suction force that caused Wang Lin's mind to twist and be pulled in. Wang Lin's mind quickly contracted and formed an illusory figure. He stared at the old man, but Wang Lin didn't speak. Wang Lin waved his right hand and all the Dao intents he had abandoned in the seven-colored realm rushed toward himself. These Dao intents were endless, and as they rushed in, all the fog in the seven-colored realm was stirred up. Even the seven-colored light dimmed. The number of Dao intents that had gathered reached a frightening degree in an instant. As Wang Lin waved his right hand, the Dao intents formed a giant vortex. This caused the old man to reveal a serious expression and stop his giant hand. "I am comprehending Dao and my mind randomly scattered. I didn't intend to disturb fellow cultivators' cultivation." Wang Lin's body was surrounded by endless Dao intents, and even more chaotic Dao intents were gathering. They protected Wang Lin's image formed by his mind. The old man's pupils shrank as he stared at Wang Lin's illusionary figure. He had never seen a mind spell that could condense so many chaotic Dao intents before. After pondering a bit, the old man coldly snorted and slowly said, "Only this once. Don't repeat it." He waved his sleeves and returned into the mountain. He then withdrew his divine sense. Wang Lin retreated. With the endless Dao intents surrounding him, he crossed the realm and returned to his body inside the valley. A moment later, he slowly opened his eyes and a flash of coldness appeared in his eyes. If that old man was determined to keep him there, Wang Lin would have retaliated with all the Dao intents. Standing up, Wang Lin pointed at the sky and the endless Dao intents rushed into the valley. The Tao Intense rushed in from all over the seven-colored realm and condensed into a ball of black light in Wang Lin's right hand. A moment later, all the Tao Intense Wang Lin had discarded had gathered inside this ball of light. All the lost ones outside the valley were confused again and scattered. The enlightened ones began to mutter and floated away. Even the rank 12 fierce beasts seemed to become sober and roared as they left. Everything outside the valley returned to normal. Master Ashen Pine's face was pale and he quickly retreated. Wang Lin's right hand reached out and popping sounds came from the black light before it turned into a black crystal. Wang Lin held the black crystal and looked at it for a bit. This was a treasure formed from the chaotic Tao Intense from all those pills, and it was a very powerful treasure. If it collapsed, the Tao Intense that would rush out were enough to collapse the Tao heart of even a Nirvana Shatterer cultivator. What is he guarding? Wang Lin began to ponder. He thought about the old man. It was obvious that the reason he didn't attack was because he was worried about something. That old man was at the late stage of Nirvana Shatterer but stayed alone at the mountain. If he said he wasn't guarding something or plotting something, Wang Lin wouldn't believe it. There were also those 3 young cultivators, and I've seen one of them before. I didn't expect him to appear here, Wang Lin frowned. However, since this place is related to the sovereign, then it is understandable for him to appear. Wang Lin looked up at the sky. He was calm. His eyes gave off a profound glow, as if they contained the heavenly Tao. When my domain saw the scripture on the skeleton, it broke through. I only need to consolidate it for a bit and then I can reach the mid-stage of Nirvana Cleanser. Wang Lin took a deep breath and his gaze fell outside the restriction. He got up and went out. The restriction's ripples echoed as Wang Lin appeared outside the valley. He looked at where Master Ashen Pine escaped to and charged forward like a bolt of lightning. Master Ashen Pine has recovered and unexpectedly found me. He hates me to the bones, so I can't let him escape. Also, I need to learn what the black liquid is and the method to leave this place from him. There was a flash of coldness in Wang Lin's eyes and he chased. Master Ashen Pine rushed the entire way, and his face was pale the whole time. His heart was filled with anger. He thought that his injury had recovered and could easily kill this person named Lu. At most he would spend some effort breaking the restriction. However, when he came within 10,000 feet of Wang Lin, his Tao heart was caught and his mind almost collapsed. In particular, when he was within the endless chaotic Taos, he was like a lonely boat in the raging sea. When Wang Lin's mind swept by, his mind trembled. He had a vague guess that Wang Lin had gained enlightenment and improved his domain, and maybe his cultivation level was about to increase. Thinking about this, Master Ashen Pine's heart felt a chill. Before Wang Lin's cultivation level increased, he used everything and only managed to end with both sides seriously injured. Now that Wang Lin had a breakthrough, he would undoubtedly die if they were to fight. Master Ashen Pine felt bitter and roared at the sky. He had prepared for many years, but he had to admit that he had failed with no room to recover. If he continued, it was likely he would leave his life here as well. I'll not resign to this. Master Ashen Pine's eyes were filled with monstrous hatred. He hated Wang Lin to the point that he wanted to devour Wang Lin's raw flesh. This person ruined all my effort, and there is also that old woman named Zhao. If she didn't try to steal from me, that person named Lu wouldn't have had the chance. Forget it. Forget it. Master Ashen Pine's expression was twisted and his eyes were filled with anger. However, it was even more filled with gloom and helplessness. I don't want it anymore. If you all want it, then take it. I'm leaving this seven-color realm, and I'll completely seal this place. I'll destroy the seven-colored crack so that all of you will be trapped here forever. Only then will the anger in my heart ease a little. That person named Lu must have searched Pang Detsai's soul when he killed him. But even Pang Detsai doesn't know the real way to leave. He only knew what I wanted him to know. All of you will be trapped here forever for me. Master Ashen Pine quickly rushed toward the outer region. He moved along a path they didn't travel before toward the usual path he took to leave this place. He had traveled his path twice, so he was very familiar with it. If it wasn't for the fact that he was worried about meeting the lost ones, he could move even faster. However, as he was rushing forward, his body trembled and he suddenly turned around. Wang Lin's figure appeared in the distance and killing intent surrounded him. This caused Master Ashen Pine's heart to feel a chill. He quickly sped up and charged forward. As Wang Lin stared at Master Ashen Pine's figure, his hands formed a seal and the illusion of the ancient god furnace appeared before him. His eyes lit up and he pointed at Master Ashen Pine. "Change positions." The moment he spoke, light suddenly appeared around Master Ashen Pine. Master Ashen Pine disappeared and immediately switched places with Wang Lin. Master Ashen Pine only felt his vision blur, and when he regained his vision, his expression changed greatly. Wang Lin and Master Ashen Pine's positions had been switched. Taking the moment that Master Ashen Pine was confused by the spell, Wang Lin closed the distance. Wang Lin raised his right hand and pressed at the void. His left hand quickly pointed to the back of his right hand. A surge of origin energy rushed into his palm and then shot at Master Ashen Pine. All of this happened in a flash. It was fast beyond imagination. Master Ashen Pine would have never expected Wang Lin to have such a treasure. When he realized it, the powerful origin energy had already closed in. His pupils shrank as he let out a scream and his face twisted. 7 blood nascent souls appeared and condensed in the blurry lightning mark between his eyebrows. The mark let out a dazzling glow and shot at the origin energy charging at him. An earth-shattering rumble echoed across the land. Inside the cave not far away, Chen Tianjun walked out and gasped as he watched the battle between Wang Lin and Master Ashen Pine. The bolt of lightning in front of Master Ashen Pine shot out just like during their first battle. It carried with it a monstrous might and collided with the origin energy in flash. Thunderous rumbles echoed across the surroundings. The endless origin energy dissipated and the lightning pierced through toward Wang Lin. Wang Lin's eyes lit up and he mercilessly threw a punch. His ancient god power activated and the illusion of a giant ancient god appeared behind Wang Lin. This shadow was unimaginably large, and it threw a punch along with Wang Lin's punch. Popping sounds echoed and the punch immediately collided with the lightning mark. The world changed colors. The lightning mark trembled and suddenly collapsed, but the power of lightning inside turned into countless bolts of lightning that descended on Wang Lin. Master Ashen Pine's eyes were filled with viciousness. The moment he attacked, he used his most powerful spell. He hated Wang Lin so much that he hoped Wang Lin would immediately die. Thunder and lightning. Wang Lin revealed a look of contempt. Lightning flashed in his right eye and a vortex appeared between his eyebrows. His ancient thunder dragon origin soul flew out and let out a roar at the countless bolts of lightning in the sky. Roar. The ancient thunder dragon had power over thunder. With this roar, the lightning flashed in Wang Lin's right eyes and spread across his body. Soon, the space within thousands of feet of him became a thunder lake. The thunder descending from the sky paused for a moment and then fused with the thunder lake around Wang Lin, forming a boundless thunder hell. Wang Lin was like a thunder celestial inside the thunder lake. He breathed in, and the endless thunder quickly condensed into his right eye. This scene caused Master Ashen Pine's face to turn pale. He was completely stunned. Not far away, Chen Tianjuan's forehead was covered in sweat. His face was pale and shock had filled his eyes. Wang Lin didn't stop. After he absorbed the lightning, there was a faint lightning mark in his eyes. It shot out from his eyes just like the attack from before and flew directly at Master Ashen Pine. Master Ashen Pine quickly retreated and his hands formed a seal. The 7 nascent souls quickly gave off an intense blood-red light and surrounded Master Ashen Pine in an attempt to block the lightning. Wang Lin's eyes lit up. Although he hadn't actually broken through to the mid-stage of Nirvana Cleanser, the breakthrough in his domain had caused the power of his spells to become more powerful. He was also different compared to the first time he battled Master Ashen Pine. The moment the lightning shot out, Wang Lin reached out and his storage space appeared. A 7-colored light came out from the crack and the 7-colored nail appeared. Wang Lin grabbed it and threw it. The 7-colored light turned into a ray of 7-colored light and whistled at Master Ashen Pine at an extreme speed. Master Ashen Pine was surrounded by a bloodlight and the lightning arrived. The bloodlight seemed to boil as popping sounds echoed. The bloodlight continued to collapse and dissipate. As Master Ashen Pine continued to retreat, His right hand opened his storage space. However, at this moment, he felt a powerful sense of danger. A ray of 7-colored light instantly closed in on him through the collapsing blood light. Master Ashen Pine's face instantly turned ashen. The 7-colored light was too fast. Blood splashed out from his chest when the 7-colored light pierced through. His origin soul was going to escape, but he let out a miserable groan. A 7-colored nail had punctured the chest of his origin soul. Master Ashen Pine's origin soul revealed a hint of panic, but madness soon appeared. Wang Lin immediately appeared behind Master Ashen Pine and placed his right hand on Master Ashen Pine's head. He was taking advantage of the moment that Master Ashen Pine's origin soul was seriously injured and about to go crazy to search his soul. Wang Lin quickly obtained the memories from Master Ashen Pine's origin soul. Master Ashen Pine's origin soul trembled and the madness intensified. After just a moment, the madness reached a peak and he let out a roar. Blood-red lines spread out from his chest and spread across his whole body. Wang Lin withdrew his hand and ignored Master Ashen Pine. He swept through Master Ashen Pine's storage space and took everything. At this moment, Master Ashen Pine went crazy. He held his head in his hands, and his eyes revealed a beast-like gaze. Then he pointed at the sky and his body trembled. A roar came from his mouth before his body rapidly withered. In just a moment, he dissipated and turned into a blood bead. This bead gave off a blood-red light and covered all the 7-colored light in the sky. The world dimmed and the blood bead shot at the sky. Wang Lin's eyes lit up. This was his first time using the 7-colored nail. Based on his personal experience from forcing out the 7-colored nail, the 7-colored nail would instantly absorb all your vitality at the moment of madness. Then you would die while going mad. However, he didn't expect a blood bead to form at the moment of death. Seeing the blood bead charge into the sky, Wang Lin didn't hesitate to charge toward it. He approached the bead and grabbed it. The bead immediately began to struggle as if it wanted to break free. A powerful force came from within it that shook Wang Lin's mind and pulled him into the void. Wang Lin's expression changed, but just at this moment, the heaven-defying bead, which hadn't moved for a long time, suddenly condensed in his origin soul. It rapidly rotated and a mysterious suction force entered his right hand. The blood bead trembled and suddenly stopped struggling. It entered Wang Lin's right hand and entered the heaven-defying bead inside his origin soul. Then 7-colored light gathered in Wang Lin's right hand and the nail reformed. This strange scene shocked Wang Lin's mind, but he didn't reveal a hint of it. He put away the 7-colored nail and his gaze fell on Chen Tianjun. Chen Tianjun had just witnessed Wang Lin slaughter Master Ashen Pine. When Wang Lin looked over, his face turned pale. He subconsciously took a few steps back and clasped his hands at Wang Lin. Brother Lu's power is heaven-shaking. I admire you. Master Ashen Pine was vicious for bringing us all here. It is fortunate that he died by fellow cultivator Lu's hand. He deserved it. Fellow cultivator Lu did good. Wang Lin closed in on Chen Tianjun and slightly clasped his hands. Chen Tianjun looked cautiously at Wang Lin and explained before Wang Lin even asked any questions, I left earlier, but after traveling back along the original path to the altar, I found that I couldn't leave this 7-colored realm. Then I encountered a fierce beast and was seriously injured. I found this place and began healing. Wang Lin's expression remained calm as he slowly said, escaping a rank 12 beast must not have been easy for fellow cultivator Chen. Chen Tianjun was nervous as he quickly said, I'm special. I have a good understanding of fierce beasts, so I barely was able to escape. Wang Lin have no feud with this Chen Tianjun and didn't want to fight over any treasures. He clasped his hands and was about to leave. Fellow cultivator Lu, wait. I have one thing to ask. Chen Tianjun was still hesitating, but seeing that Wang Lin was going to leave, he clenched his teeth and made up his mind. What is it? Wang Lin looked at Chen Tianjun. When fellow cultivator Lu searched Master Ashen Pine's soul, did you find a method to leave? Chen Tianjun looked at Wang Lin with a hint of nervousness. Wang Lin silently pondered for a bit and then nodded. Chen Tianjun let out a sigh of relief and became even more respectful. He sincerely clasped his hands. Please help me, fellow cultivator Lu. As long as you can take me out of here, any condition will be fine as long as I can leave this damn place. Wang Lin's gaze swept Chen Tianjuan's face and he shook his head. I don't plan on leaving soon. Chen Tianjun hesitated and whispered, no problem. Just take me when fellow cultivator Lu leaves. There's no rush. If you need me to do anything, just ask. After he finished speaking, he saw Wang Lin's expression remain calm, as if Wang Lin didn't agree, so he quickly said, fellow cultivator Lu, with my understanding of fierce beasts and my spells from my battle beast sect, I can help fellow cultivator Lu gather origin crystals from the countless fog beasts here. I roughly calculated that there are at least 100 fog beasts and countless origin crystals. If fellow cultivator promises to take me out of here, I'll risk it and gather all those origin crystals. After we leave, there will be a big reward as well. Wang Lin was moved. After pondering a bit, he nodded and handed a jade to Chen Tianjun. After you finished gathering the origin crystals, you can send me a message. After that, Wang Lin no longer looked at Chen Tianjun and left. As Chen Tianjun watched Wang Lin disappear over the horizon, he let out a sigh of relief. He didn't lie, he indeed wanted to leave this place. Originally, he thought he had no chance, but after seeing Master Ashen Pine die, he knew that his chances of leaving this place were in Wang Lin's hands. Taking the origin crystals will be very dangerous, so I need to prepare. Chen Tianjun took a deep breath and held the jade tightly as if it was his hope of leaving. He returned to his cave. Wang Lin returned to the cave inside the valley and took out a large amount of origin crystals. He placed large amounts of restrictions around him and began absorbing the origin energy. Origin energy rushed toward him from all sides and he cultivated his way toward the mid-stage of Nirvana Cleanser. Although this place is dangerous, this is the best place to cultivate. From Master Ashen Pine's memories, there was that stone statue that he used to reform his body. Perhaps I can absorb some power from it. There is also those three from the outer realm. They have power and information about the outer realm I need. There is also that old woman in green with her life and death restriction, and there is also Sima Mo's time restriction. In the boundless stars, there was a star system that was far larger than all heaven, brilliant void, summoned river, and the cloud sea. Even if all four star systems were combined, it wouldn't be able to compare to this vast star system. This was called the Outer Realm by the people of the Sealed Realm. The people of the Outer Realm called this place the Primal Star System. There was a mysterious palace in a forbidden area of the Primal Star System. There was no sign of life here, and there were several seven-colored lights floating in the palace. There was a piece of jade with a name engraved on it inside each light. Qing Shui, All-Seer, Master Zhongshuan, Daoist Water, Sima Mo, Master Ashen Pine. At this moment, the jade with Master Ashen Pine engraved on it collapsed into countless pieces and a sigh echoed in the palace. Just as the sigh appeared, time began to flow in reverse and the pieces of the jade reformed back into a jade as if nothing had happened. However, the name carved on the jade that reformed had turned into Wang Lin. In the land of Dao Seed, the Dao spirit will form soon. Let's just use this person's soul to allow the Dao to succeed. A murmur echoed inside the palace. It was as if the voice was talking to himself or passing it through the stars. In the depths of the seven-colored realm stood the mountain where Wang Lin's mind had passed. A white-haired old man was sitting there, and behind him there was a cave. Seven-colored light came from the cave, and many mournful wails slowly came from within. The old man suddenly raised his head and looked up at the sky. After a long time, he silently nodded. Large amounts of origin energy filled the valley Sima Mo's cave was located in. The origin energy formed a vortex that floated above the valley. Below the vortex was Wang Lin. The history of the seven-colored realm was mysterious, and there were many strange things here that were filled with danger. However, it was also a huge opportunity for Wang Lin. After he absorbed Master Ashen Pine's memories, Wang Lin learned even more about the seven-colored realm. He even found out about the use of the bottle of liquid and the method to leave this place. If he hadn't broken through from the early stage of Nirvana Cleanser to the mid-stage, he would have hesitated. After all, Wang Lin had gained a much better understanding of the dangers here after taking Master Ashen Pine's memories. More importantly, He knew of the existence of that mountain, the depths of the seven-colored realm. However, Wang Lin's domain had a breakthrough, so he just needed to absorb enough origin crystal to reach the mid-stage of Nirvana Cleanser. At that time, with his ancient god body, he could kill mid-stage Nirvana Shatterer cultivators without any difficulty. Only late-stage Nirvana Shatterer cultivators would be a challenge. If I can reach the peak of the Nirvana Cleanser stage, those late-stage Nirvana Shatterer old monsters won't be my match. Wang Lin took a deep breath and the large amount of origin energy rushed into his body. It was all absorbed into his body. Popping sounds echoed and his hair moved without any wind. His origin soul was also cultivating and continued to swell as he devoured the endless origin energy. As more and more origin energy entered, Wang Lin's origin soul became as large as his body. Wang Lin's eyes suddenly opened. His gaze was like the bright stars, and it pierced through the heavens and earth. The moment he opened his eyes, the large amount of origin crystals around him collapsed into dust, forming a ring around him. Mid-stage Nirvana Cleanser. Wang Lin smiled and let out a mouthful of foil air. Then he waved his hand and a jade bottle appeared. This was the thing he had taken from Master Ashen Pine. Use the lost ones to devour Tao and the enlightened ones to nourish Tao. The nourished Tao is then absorbed by the 4 stone tablets. Then use the scripture engraved on the skeleton under the tablet to transform this Tao into an unimaginable force. This force is then used to extract this black blood from the skeleton. But it isn't blood, it's the Tao essence of that person. Wang Lin's eyes shined brightly. This was the important information he had obtained from Master Ashen Pine's mind. Wang Lin didn't find how Master Ashen Pine had obtained his information. After all, Master Ashen Pine was a mid-stage Nirvana Shatterer cultivator, and the soul search spell wasn't without flaws. Wang Lin couldn't obtain everything. The key of this Tao essence is the identity of that half-skeleton. There are 2 stone tablets, and from what I've seen, each should have half a skeleton nailed below them, so it was one person. This person must have been very famous. I don't know if he was killed or if someone dug up his skeleton, but they used his heaven-shattering method to force out his Tao essence. If I drink his Tao essence, I can obtain his Tao. The scripture on the bones was carved on there later. It is unknown what powerful cultivator turned their spell into a scripture and thought of this terrifying idea. However, this Tao essence can't be consumed immediately. Once one drinks it, they fall asleep for an unknown amount of time. Master Ashen Pine's plan was to find an absolutely safe place here, drink it, and wait for the day he would awaken. This was also the reason why he didn't just drink it when he was fighting the old woman in green. The place he had chosen was the mountain in the depths of the 7-colored realm, only, there was no sign of that white-haired old man in Master Ashen Pine's memories. Wang Lin's eyes lit up and he stared at the bottle in his left hand. Interesting. Everything here seems to produce Tao for the stone tablets to absorb, even the fierce beasts are the same. As for why there aren't any rank 13 beasts, it is like all of them were killed and had their Tao souls taken. All of this is for the Tao essence in this jade bottle. However, the importance of this Tao essence to the powerful cultivator that set this up is likely not as simple as drinking it. The old man on the mountain must be guarding something. Perhaps what he is guarding is connected to all this. Wang Lin pondered a bit and put the bottle away. Sima Mo's jade said that there are 4 tablets, but when my mind spread out, there were only 2. One of stone tablets didn't even have a skeleton or bottle beneath it. This is a bit strange. After pondering for a bit, Wang Lin looked at the 9 caves on the mountain. He had only checked the first 3, but after that, he didn't open them. His body flickered and he arrived before the 4th cave. He placed his right hand on the rock that was sealing the cave and the origin energy in his body surged. He gently pressed on the rock and popping sounds came out. All the restrictions on it collapsed and moved to the side. The moment the rock moved, Wang Lin's lightning gaze looked inside and he frowned. The 4th cave was completely empty. Stepping into the cave, Wang Lin carefully looked around but still found nothing. After pondering a bit, Wang Lin arrived next to the 5th cave. This cave also had a restriction sealing it, and it was actually the time restriction. The ripples of the restriction were extremely powerful. It would be difficult to break this restriction. Wang Lin raised his right hand and formed seals, and restrictions immediately appeared. As his hand landed on the rock, a rumble came out from inside it and large amounts of ripples immediately appeared. The moment it turned transparent, Wang Lin's eyes lit up. He was startled when he saw through the transparent rock and saw what was inside. There were people in this cave. Four cultivators with tattered clothes, no hair, and dead eyes walked in confusion inside the cave. It was as if they had never stopped once over the countless years and continued walking. There was a formation on the ground of the cave. This formation released a gentle light that surrounded the four of them and slowly drilled into their bodies. There was also a piece of jade at the center. Lost ones. Wang Lin immediately recognized the four of them. He thought of the information Sima Mo had left behind and gasped. He quickly arrived before the sixth cave and used the same method to make the rock transparent to look inside. There were 3 people inside the sixth cave. These 3 people seemed to have no physical bodies and were only ghosts. They drifted in the cave and seemed to be chanting something, but with the rock blocking the way, Wang Lin couldn't hear anything. Enlightened ones. Wang Lin saw that there were even more restrictions inside. These restrictions were there to completely seal them, making it impossible for them to come out unless they awakened one day and opened the restriction on their own. There was also a jade placed in the cave. Taking a deep breath, Wang Lin walked to the 7th cave and made the rock transparent too. His eyes narrowed as he saw an old man sitting inside. This old man's hair was grey and his face was deathly pale. He sat there as if he had been there for an eternity. There were even more restrictions here than in the cave with the enlightened ones. They completely sealed this place shut. The moment Wang Lin looked at the old man's eyes opened. His eyes were filled with madness as he stared at Wang Lin outside the rock and let out a roar. He charged like a beast, and spells appeared around him and he shot toward the rock. However, the moment the old man's spells appeared, the restrictions in the cave flashed quickly and absorbed the spells. The old man roared even more intensely and his hands smashed down on the rock. No sound came out. Wang Lin was able to see the old man's roar, but not hear it. The mountain rock remained motionless. After a long time, the old man seemed tired. He stared at Wang Lin as he retreated and sat back down. The restrictions returned to normal. Could he be a defying one? After looking at the 3 caves, Wang Lin had already understood that these people were Sima Mo's sect members. Sima Mo had brought them back and sealed them inside the cave in an attempt to awaken them. However, looking at it now, Sima Mo didn't succeed. The jades inside the Lost Ones and Enlightened Ones caves should contain the time restriction. Sima Mo's thought was that if one of them awakened, they would only need to learn the restriction to open it. Letting out a sigh, Wang Lin walked to the 8th cave. The restriction on the 8th cave wasn't a time restriction. After a glance, Wang Lin waved his hand and the restriction dissipated. The rock rumbled and moved aside. The moment the 8th cave opened, Wang Lin sucked in a breath of cold air. He stared at the items inside and finally let out a breath after a long time. There was half a skeleton inside this cave. This was the lower half of a skeleton, and there were countless words carved on it. This skeleton was completely black. The restriction on the ground sealed the skeleton completely. So the lost skeleton from the stone tablet is here. Wang Lin looked at the skeleton and felt a powerful force tugging at his mind. He retreated a few steps and cut off that bit of connection without any hesitation. After focusing himself, Wang Lin pondered for a bit. He wasn't willing to leave just like this. He looked at the skeleton and saw that there was a deep fracture on its right leg. Although it wasn't disconnected, the wound was very deep. After a long time, Wang Lin's hands formed a seal. He pointed at his body several times and placed a large amount of restrictions on his mind. Then his hand reached out and took out the crystal sword he had gotten from Master Ashen Pine. He left a sliver of his thoughts inside the sword and slowly walked forward. It was only few dozen feet, but Wang Lin was extremely careful every step. He slowly arrived next to the skeleton, squatted down, and reached for the fracture on the right leg without any hesitation. His mind extended out from his right hand. He was using his soul to comprehend. The moment Wang Lin's divine sense touched the bone, he felt a bang in his mind. It was as if he wasn't touching the bone, but an unimaginable vortex. His divine sense was going into the depths of the vortex. Without his control, an unimaginable suction force pulled Wang Lin's divine sense deeper and deeper. Wang Lin was like a lonely boat in the raging waves. He was being sucked into the vortex. It was as if he was traveling through time to a period where he had never been to before. Thunderous rumbles echoed in his mind even more. If someone looked from outside the cave, they would see that Wang Lin's body was trembling, his face was pale, and that his face had even become twisted. His right hand trembled even more intensely, but it was glued to the skeleton. That skeleton suddenly gave off a golden glow. However, the moment the golden light appeared, the text on the skeleton gave off a black glow, trying to suppress the golden light. The two began a battle. This was a world filled with chaos. It was impossible to separate heaven and earth. The world seemed to exist but also seemed not to exist. In the distant void, a person slowly walked over. This person wore white and looked like an old man. However, his figure was vague, making it difficult to see him clearly. He raised his head and looked up at the sky as if he was pondering. However, at this moment, seven-colored light suddenly arrived. This wave of seven-colored light tore the world apart, causing the chaos to collapse. The sky was no longer the sky and the earth was no longer the earth, it was now space. However, this space wasn't black, but seven-colored. This world had become a seven-colored world. The old man in white fiercely raised his head and waved his right hand. The word battle appeared. The world surrounded his body and gave off an endless, golden glow that forced the seven-colored light back. Just at this instant, a mighty voice echoed across the world. The world began at the origin, the sky is the beginning, the earth is the end. What this old man cultivates is the origin of the world. Law of origin, seven-colored guide, seal. With one word, all the seven-colored light in this world moved as if there was a force controlling them. All the boundless seven-colored light gathered toward the old man like crazy. It looked as if the world had reversed and all the seven-colored light was gathering to form a seal. The seven-colored light continued to condense until it completely sealed the old man. The endless seven-colored light flashed as if the world was going to collapse. Bursts of roars came from inside the seven-colored world, but it grew weaker until it dissipated. Zhong Xingye, if it wasn't for this old man gifting you the battle scroll, how could you have reached the spirit void stage? If I take your Zhong family soul, I can use it as a guide to find where that old ghost Zhong hid his old bones for his void tribulant. Then I'll take his skeleton and force out the Tao essence from both of you. I'll destroy his nirvana and complete the heavenly plan. The ancient voice sound exhausted and gradually disappeared. At the same time, even the world Wang Lin was in began to shatter. It seemed like his origin soul was going to collapse and disintegrate with it. At this moment in Sima Mo's cave, the golden light from the skeleton was being suppressed by the black light and was forced into a corner. The black light headed for Wang Lin's hand and was about to enter his body. Just at this instant, the crystal sword Wang Lin had left in the cave suddenly shined and charged toward him. It moved between Wang Lin's fingertip and the skeleton, causing them to separate. Wang Lin's body trembled as he became sober and retreated without hesitation. He stared at the skeleton, and his mind was in turmoil. Zhong family ancestor, Zhong Xingye. Wang Lin's expression became gloomy. He knew that the Zhong family ancestor from all heaven had disappeared among the stars, and no one knew where he had gone. Zhong Xingye was extremely talented, and at some point he accidentally found the battle scroll. He studied it to comprehend the battle domain and then disappeared in pursuit of a higher realm. No matter how much his future offspring searched for him, they couldn't find any clue of where Zhong Xingye was. I didn't think he would be Zhong Xingye. The person who killed Zhong Xingye using the law of origin could be he the sovereign. Wang Lin's expression became even more gloomy. Thinking back about what happened, his heart felt cold. That seven-colored light was a spell similar to Sundered Night, but far more powerful. Just one spell was enough to kill Zhong Xingye without him being able to resist at all. Wang Lin's mouth became dry. While pondering, he frowned and his eyes lit up. Something is wrong. If Zhong Xingye was killed like this, how could such a clear will remain? If he died, his will should have dissipated. Even though the will still exists, it shouldn't be this clear. Also, the voice of the sovereign at the end clearly seemed exhausted. Ideas raced through Wang Lin's mind, but he couldn't find any clues. Spirit void, void turbulent. Could these be two realms in the third step? When I comprehended the battle scrolls, I saw an old man. The battle scrolls were created by that person. He once said that his cultivation level had reached the void and that he was going to have a breakthrough. Could it be that he was the old ghost John the sovereign mentioned? From the way he spoke, this sovereign seems to dread this old ghost John. In order to find where this old ghost John hid his bones, the sovereign gave the battle scroll to Zhon Xingye. He let Zhon Xingye cultivate the battle domain before killing him for his soul. All of this was for the sake of the heavenly plan. What exactly is this heavenly plan? Wang Lin's mind became even more clear. Although there were some things he didn't understand, his thoughts were clear. The 4 stone tablets and 2 intact skeletons. This first skeleton is Zhon Xingye. Could the second skeleton be his ancestor, Old Ghost John? Wang Lin sucked in a breath of cold air. The battle scroll is the Tao left behind by Old Ghost John. Wang Lin looked at the skeleton with a complicated expression. When he saw the faint, golden light, he began to ponder. He had a total of 3 battle scrolls inside his storage space. He had opened the first 2, but he hadn't opened the third one since obtaining them from the Zhon family. After pondering for a bit, he looked at the skeleton and his right hand reached at the void. 3 balls of light flew out. Inside the 3 balls of light were the 3 battle scrolls. The moment the battle scrolls appeared, the golden lighten that was forced into a corner by the black light flew out from the skeleton. It went straight into the 3 battle scrolls, and as the golden light shined, the scrolls fused together. This strange scene was not outside of Wang Lin's expectations. His gaze was serious as he stared at the 3 battle scrolls fusing. After a moment, the fusion ended and the cave was covered in a golden light. An illusionary word battle appeared before Wang Lin. The word battle released a golden glow and a terrifying aura. It headed straight for Wang Lin and was put into his storage space. You obtained the battle scroll and inadvertently became Old Ghost John's cross-generation inheritor. Because of you, Sovereign found out where Old Ghost John had buried his bones. Countless years later, I obtained the battle scrolls from your descendant. Today I saw your remains. Wang Lin revealed a complicated look before letting out a heavy sigh. He then left the cave and sealed it. Wang Lin didn't open the 9th cave as he wasn't able to break the restriction on it. He saw that it was filled with 7-colored gas, but he couldn't see what was inside. Inside the valley, Wang Lin looked at Sima Mo's remains and pondered for a long time, then he left. Before Wang Lin left, he went to the first cave where the mosquito beast was and left a lot of origin crystals. Walking out of the valley, Wang Lin's eyes lit up. He needed to see the tablet that he saw with his mind before. He needed to see the other half of Zhon Xingye's remains. After searching the memories of Pang Detsai and Master Ashen Ping, Wang Lin was no longer unfamiliar with this 7-colored realm. All the roots were deeply imprinted in his mind. He moved like a ray of light but didn't fly, instead moving along the ground. He moved through the various valleys before he arrived at where restriction the old woman in green was trapped in. The restriction had been opened and the old woman had disappeared. After taking a glance, Wang Lin didn't stop. He passed by the mountain into the fog. Wang Lin was very familiar with this area. The murmuring of the enlightened ones entered his ears and some even drifted by him. The more Wang Lin learned, the more he understood the enlightened ones. They were all former cultivators, but they had become things to help someone else nourish Tao. Wang Lin could even imagine that these enlightened ones were once amazing talents who had high understanding of Tao. That's why they were trapped by the Tao scripture and became enlightened ones to nourish Tao. He let out a sigh in his heart, but he didn't stop and charged ahead. He gradually saw a giant statue in the fog. Wang Lin stopped before the statue. His eyes shined as he jumped up and arrived next to the head of the statue. In Master Ashen Pine's memories, his cultivation method was called the 100 blood origin forms the nascent soul. The 7th spirit of the sealed realm he summoned was comprehended from this statue. This cultivation method allowed him to cultivate a total of 9 nascent soul-like things, but they were far more powerful than nascent souls. More importantly, they would allow Master Ashen Pine to increase the speed at which he cultivated a spell by 9-fold. What was even more shocking was that each nascent soul could form a spell. Often, there were many spells that couldn't be cultivated together. No matter how good they were, you had to make a choice. The old woman's yin-yang ancestral spell was like this. However, this was not an issue for Master Ashen Pine. His 9 blood nascent souls could cultivate separately. However, before the battle with Wang Lin, one of the nascent souls was taken by the old woman, and then in the battle with Wang Lin, both of them were seriously injured, so he wasn't able to use the spells inside them. Wang Lin sat down on the head of the statue. He knew that the reason why Master Ashen Pine was able to restore his body and gain that lightning mark had a great connection to this stone statue. One of Master Ashen Pine's blood nascent souls cultivated the cultivation method left in this statue. Due to his 9-fold comprehension power, he barely obtained part of the inheritance left in this stone statue. Now Wang Lin had absorbed a majority of that inheritance during their battle with his command over thunder, and it was gathered in his right eye. At this moment, he took a deep breath and his divine sense surrounded the statue. The lightning came out from his right eye and surrounded him. Then the lightning mark on the statue flashed intensely and popping sounds echoed. A faint roar echoed. Wang Lin's eyes were closed as his divine sense surrounded the stone statue and lightning surrounded him. He had an ancient thunder dragon origin soul and had control over the heavenly thunder. All thunder had to listen to his command. However, the lightning from the statue gave off an ancient aura and was filled with pride. It moved around the statue and continued to collide with the thunder Wang Lin controlled. From a distance, one could only see ball of thunder surrounding the statue as lightning arched everywhere. The thunderous rumbles of thunder continued to echo. This was a battle between lightning and thunder. It was battle for control. Wang Lin didn't comprehend it like Master Ashen Pine. He didn't conform to the lightning mark of the stone statue to comprehend lightning. He didn't yield to the lightning mark like a servant and borrowed it to increase his comprehension. Master Ashen Pine was like a beggar that had waited for an unknown amount of time to obtain the little remaining power of lightning to turn it into his own spell. It even allowed Master Ashen Pine to summon the 7th spirit of the sealed realm that could injure Wang Lin's ancient god body. Master Ashen Pine had chosen a path of submission. He saw this statue as a god and had one of his nascent souls comprehend and worship it. There was no danger in this path. As long as you were worthy, you could obtain it. But how could Wang Lin chose this path? He even dared to defy the heavens. He did as he pleased as he traveled the world and dared to fight the heavens. He had defied the heavens to form his Tao and dared to compete with the heavens. He would never worship this mere statue like Master Ashen Pine did, even if the lightning inside the statue was heaven-shaking and could summon the 7th spirit of the sealed realm. What he wanted was for the lightning in the statue to yield under him. He didn't want to comprehend the lightning in the statue, he wanted to absorb it all. Make it worship him. This was his pride, the pride of a heaven-defying cultivator and the dignity of an ancient god. Out of the countless clans in the ancient world, could any match up to the ancient god clan? Like the moon-devouring clan. Wang Lin had learned from Ling that they were but servants of the ancient gods. If the moon-devouring clan was like this, then this lightning mark clan, which seemed to also be a clan of the outer realm, also had to yield to him. Wang Lin opened his eyes and revealed an extremely tyrannical gaze. He let out a cold snort and his right hand smashed down on the head of the stone statue. A thunderous rumble echoed, but the statue didn't collapse. Instead, an earth-shattering bolt of lighting shot up to the sky and then turned into a lightning dragon that charged at Wang Lin. When it rushed over, all the surrounding lightning was absorbed by it. It closed in on Wang Lin with a fierce and mad aura. This lighting dragon was fierce, but Wang Lin was even more fierce. This lighting dragon was crazy, but Wang Lin was 10 times, 100 times more crazy. The moment it closed in, thunder flashed in Wang Lin's right eye and shot out. A vortex appeared between his eyebrows and the ancient thunder dragon descended into the 7-colored realm. With one roar, Wang Lin's ancient thunder dragon origin soul collided with the lightning dragon and began to devour it like crazy. In this constant devour, The stars of an ancient god vaguely appeared behind the vortex, and the power of an ancient god filled his body. His right hand mercilessly reached forward and the image of an ancient god appeared. Wang Lin grabbed the lightning dragon and mercilessly squeezed. While the lightning dragon was fighting with Wang Lin's origin soul, its body trembled and it let out a roar as it attempted to struggle free. However, the ancient god hand held it firmly, and as it squeezed, large amounts of lightning shot out. Just at this moment, Wang Lin's origin soul shot out and devoured this lightning dragon before returning to his body. The thunder in his right eye became several-fold stronger. This made Wang Lin's entire body become blurry, but his right eye gave off an intense glow. Any thunder in the world must obey my command. Wang Lin's voice was calm, but an invisible aura spread out. All the scattered lightning immediately gathered inside Wang Lin's eye from a lightning mark. The moment the lightning mark appeared in Wang Lin's right eye, a large amount of cracks appeared on the stone statue. It started at the feet and quickly spread like crazy. They were like dragons charging at Wang Lin, who was on the head of the statue. The cracking sounds were earth-shaking and there were bright flashes coming from within the cracks. The statue seemed like it was going to fragment, but it remained motionless. There was lightning moving within the cracks, and it instantly closed in on Wang Lin. A thunderous rumble echoed as the lightning moved like countless sliver snakes around Wang Lin's body. It formed a giant ball of lightning that was more than 1,000 feet wide. Wang Lin was inside the ball of lightning. The lightning struggled and refused to be controlled by Wang Lin. Then it began to contract like crazy toward Wang Lin. Wang Lin let out a cold snort and lightning surrounded his body. Although his cultivation level couldn't match the stone statue, his origin soul was an ancient thunder dragon. He was the master of thunder in this world. As long as it was thunder, it wasn't worthy enough to defy him. This had nothing to do with cultivation, it was a battle of thunder. The ancient thunder dragons were given the right to control thunder by the heavenly Tao. Wang Lin didn't believe in the heavens and would use his own Tao to steal the right to command thunder from the heavens. The stone statue was the ancestor of the Scatter Thunder clan. Although he was dead, he had spent his life with thunder as his companion and had almost become thunder. The lightning mark between his eyebrows refused to yield. It was rumored that the original ancestor of the Scatter Thunder clan was a bolt of thunder, a heaven-defying bolt of thunder that wouldn't yield even to the heaven. If others worshipped him, then that person would gain the right to control thunder. However, if that person resisted, they would be destroyed by thunder. However, Wang Lin was going to resist. Thunder flashed in his right eye and the ancient thunder dragon origin soul flew out. As the ball of lightning closed in, it let out a roar. The roar contained the majesty to control all thunder in the world. The ball of lightning continued to contract, but it stopped 10 feet away from Wang Lin. There was a thunderous rumble, but it wasn't able to shrink even 1 more inch. Wang Lin had already stood up. He looked like a thunder celestial. The aura of an ancient god emerged from his body. If an ancient god and thunder could fuse, then he was a thunder ancient god. Wang Lin sent out a divine sense message. Yield or be destroyed. He knew that the lightning around him wasn't ordinary. This lightning contained its own will. If had will, it was a spirit. This lightning was a thunder spirit formed by the will of the person that died. Rumbling sounds echoed. The ball of lightning around Wang Lin seemed to tremble under the might of thunder coming from Wang Lin. Also, under the impact of Wang Lin's ancient god aura, it yielded. The ball of lightning turned into rays of lightning and charged toward the ancient thunder dragon origin soul. It let out a heaven-shaking roar and suddenly grew larger. The stone statue trembled as if it was going to collapse. Wang Lin took a step forward and stepped into the void. He turned around and stared at the lightning mark between the eyebrows of the statue that still hadn't dissipated. From now on, your clan won't be able to fight with me for the right over thunder. Wang Lin's right eye lit up and the ancient thunder dragon origin soul let out a roar as it coiled around him. It fused with the thunder from his eye and charged at the lightning mark on the statue. The dragon on the lightning mark between the statue's eyebrows and the statue trembled even more violently. Just at the moment the dragon landed, the eyes of the stone statue lit up and Wang Lin saw a star system within. There was a giant formation that was so large, It covered many starfields. There were cultivators outside it wearing strange clothes. It was obvious they weren't cultivators. They had looks of indifference, sarcasm, and disdain as they stared inside the formation. The inside of the formation was filled with celestial spiritual energy and origin energy ripples. Countless ancient chi cultivators and celestials were attacking the formation like crazy in an attempt to break out from the formation. However, this formation was extremely strange and was difficult to break. No matter how much these cultivators and celestials attacked, the formation didn't move at all. Some of the celestials even gave up their lives and exploded, but they didn't dent the formation one bit. A sense of sorrow and despair shrouded the inside of the formation. There were 9 rays of light flashing inside the formation. One of them was an axe. As it flew through the air, anyone that dared to break through died. Wang Lin even saw many chi cultivators decide to self-destruct in sorrow to stop this heaven-splitting axe, but they failed. There was another ray of light among the 9. It was a bolt of thunder. Everywhere it went, whether it was cultivators or celestials, everyone died. The indifference and disdain in the gazes of the people outside became even stronger. It was as if they nobles were looking at ant-like mortals. I refuse to let this be. I refuse to let this be. There will be a day when a future generation of cultivators will break this formation and cause all you outsiders to become extinct. Rivers of blood will flow in your outer realm. A celestial that was hit by the thunder let out a roar before his death. The scene from the eyes of the statue dissipated. The moment the scene dissipated, thunder flew out from the formation. It seemed to break through the void, the heavens, and time. It charged directly into Wang Lin's right eye. Thunderous rumbles echoed inside his mind and he stumbled back several dozen feet. Then he stared at the stone statue with a ferocious expression. The stone statue suddenly collapsed into a pile of rubble and kicked up a lot of dust. Outer realm. For some reason, when Wang Lin saw that scene from the statue, his blood started boiling. When he saw the battle between All Heaven and the Alliance, countless cultivators died, but he didn't have this feeling. He witnessed a large calamity that arose due to a treasure, causing the deaths of countless cultivators, but he didn't have this feeling. He had seen the large factions inside the Alliance fight amongst each other, but he didn't have this feeling. However, at this moment, he didn't even know why. But when he saw that scene, especially when all those celestial ancestors died, he felt blood rushing to his head. The cries of the celestial before death seemed to echo in his ears. I refuse to let this be. I refuse to let this be. There will be a day when a future generation of cultivators will break this formation and cause all you outsiders to become extinct. Rivers of blood will flow in your outer realm. Staring at the collapsed statue, the lightning mark in Wang Lin's right eye continued to flash. After a long time, he turned around and flew toward the mountain surrounded by the time restriction. When Wang Lin absorbed the lightning mark, the youth with the lightning mark from the outer realm turned extremely pale and his body faintly started trembling. He clearly felt that there had been a battle of thunder before him. One side seemed to be thunder from his bloodline and the other side was also thunder, but that thunder shook his mind. He had almost lost control over the thunder inside his body. The 2 people beside him obviously didn't have such a strong reaction, but the youth with the crescent moon mark was still gloomy. He seemed to be thinking of something. As for the person with the fire mark, his eyes shined and he didn't hide the greed in his eyes. What he was after was the power of fire he had noticed when Wang Lin's mind swept by. After a long time, the 3 of them appeared at the place where the stone statue collapsed. Looking at the stone statue, the youth with the lighting mark became even more pale, but there was also anger in his expression. He could feel that this statue was his ancestor. Although he didn't know why it was here, the thunder spirit the ancestor had left behind was forcibly taken by someone not long ago. However, after the anger faded, he was even more terrified. What do we do? The youth with the lightning mark looked at his 2 companions. The person with the fire mark slowly said, if the 3 of us all release our seals to reach our peak power, it will be possible to kill this person. The person with the lightning mark hesitated for a bit and then softly said, how about we leave and report this spatial crack to the elders and let them deal with it? I have a bad feeling. Wealth can only be obtained through danger. The youth with the crescent moon mark seemed to have made up his mind and clenched his teeth. The youth with the lightning mark silently pondered. A moment later, he revealed a fierce gaze and no longer hesitated. He searched for traces of thunder and rushed out. The other two followed, and they disappeared into the fog. Wang Lin moved like lightning through the fog and quickly arrived at where he fought Master Ashen Pine for the bottle. He looked at the time restriction before him and his eyes lit up. If this restriction hadn't been broken or had been broken a long time ago, it would have been very difficult for Wang Lin to open it unless he was willing to sacrifice treasures. However, this restriction had been broken just a few months ago, and although Wang Lin was in a dazed state when his mind passed over it, he still remembered an invisible crack on the restriction. This crack was the opening Master Ashen Pine and the old woman in green had made. I only need to open that crack again. It shouldn't be hard. Wang Lin's hand formed seals and countless annihilation restrictions flew out. They landed on the time restriction and the light screen began to ripple. Wang Lin didn't even blink, and his divine sense spread out, carefully observing. Shortly after, his eyes narrowed as he found the opening from before. Although this crack had healed, the time restriction here was only several months old. Unless countless years passed, this flaw would remain. This was one of the drawbacks of a time restriction. After finding the crack, Wang Lin's right hand reached out and the crystal sword appeared. The moment the sword appeared, the aura of a pseudo-nirvana void treasure appeared. There was a flash of light and the sword shot at the crack. A thunderous rumble immediately echoed and ripples violently appeared on the time restriction. A fine crack appeared as the sword approached. At this moment, the crystal sword closed in, and under Wang Lin's control, endless sword energy spread out, causing an even louder rumble. Just at this moment, Wang Lin jumped up and his right hand reached at the air. The trident suddenly appeared, giving off an endless, black glow. Wang Lin crashed down at the crack like a meteor. He was very fast and instantly closed in. The trident immediately stabbed into the crack, and a powerful force rushed into Wang Lin's body. However, Wang Lin let out a cold snort and his ancient god power filled his body. His right hand mercilessly pushed, and as popping sounds echoed, the trident pierced through the restriction. Then he left the trident and created a hole dozens of feet wide using the crack that had just healed several months ago. Wang Lin's left hand reached out and put away the crystal sword. He then rushed into the crack and charged at the mountain peak. As for the stone gate with the lightning mark, Wang Lin only looked at it before withdrawing his gaze. He soon arrived at the top of the mountain and swept his trident. A thunderous rumble echoed and a spatial crack quickly appeared before him. He knew the exact location because of Master Ashenpine's memories and because his mind had swept past this location when he was comprehending Tao. The crack appeared and Wang Lin directly walked inside. Shortly after he entered, the three outer realm youths appeared outside the restriction. They looked at each other before clenching their teeth and entering the crack Wang Lin had opened. They headed for the mountain. When Wang Lin entered the mysterious space, he immediately saw the giant stone tablet. His eyes narrowed as he walked forward, and his gaze was pointed at the bottom of the tablet. He saw half a skeleton that was nailed to the stone tablet with two seven-colored nails. The black light seemed to be faintly moving around the skeleton, and it made the words on the bones give off a strange attraction that could make one go mad. Wang Lin walked closer step by step. He sealed his divine sense and didn't look at the skeleton. Instead, his gaze fell on the stone tablet. It was made of unknown material and gave off an ancient aura. After carefully looking at it, Wang Lin frowned. He felt like the material of the stone tablet was familiar, but he couldn't remember where he had seen something similar to it. After pondering a bit, Wang Lin's gaze swept over the skeleton. Even though he was prepared, he was still caught by it. However, he was prepared and recovered after retreating a few steps. His eyes lit up and he didn't hesitate to open his storage space. The golden word battle flew out from his storage space. The moment it appeared, the golden light from the skeleton began to fly out. The black and golden light from the skeleton constantly changed. In the end, the golden light flashed and flew out from the skeleton and went into the word battle. At this moment, a bright, golden light filled the void. At this moment, The golden word battle flew directly to Wang Lin and landed between his eyebrows. Wang Lin's mind trembled. This old man is Zhong Xingye. I know the sovereign will try to force me to yield in the future. However, as a cultivator of the all-heaven star system, I'd rather die than work with people of the outer realm. One who inherits my Tao, comprehend this battle intent and slaughter your way to the outer realm in the future. Offer their blood to my spirit. Wang Lin's heart was filled with a monstrous battle intent, and countless scenes of Zhong Xingye battling the world appeared in his mind. The countless images contained a powerful comprehension toward battle, and as his comprehension deepened, his domain began to fuse with this battle intent, causing a startling change. Just as Wang Lin was comprehending, a distortion appeared in the space he was in and the three youths stepped inside. The youth with the fire mark stared greedily at Wang Lin. At this close distance, he could feel the fierce fire origin energy inside Wang Lin. If I devour him, I can evolve. The youth with the lightning mark was startled as he looked at Wang Lin. He could feel the powerful thunder from Wang Lin, but he also saw that Wang Lin was in a mysterious state. A heavenly opportunity. Only the youth with the crescent moon mark suppressed the shock in his mind when he saw Wang Lin's back. His pupils shrank and a distant memory resurfaced in his heart. It indeed was him. The three of them charged at Wang Lin at the same time with powerful killing intent. The three of them all formed seals and mercilessly hit their foreheads with their palms. There were three popping sounds and their bodies all went through shocking changes. The youth with the lightning mark expanded to hundreds of feet large and was covered in lightning. The youth with the fire mark suddenly grew a pair of fire wings and a single horn appeared on his head. His expression revealed pain, but it was ferocious. The youth with the crescent moon mark was the most strange. His body didn't change much, but his skin turned into the color of the moon. This crystal color became a stark contrast against the golden light. However, just as they charged in and closed in, Wang Lin suddenly turned around. His eyes became clear and revealed a hint of mockery. It was the same mockery the outer realm cultivators had toward the sealed realm cultivators. I'm a hero both in life and death. Cultivators like us never shrink from a fight. The last words of Zhong Xingye when facing the sovereign appeared in Wang Lin's mind. This video will end here.